चांद मुहर्रम का हुआ है आया।
अब मैं मुल्तमिस हूँ हमारी अंजुमन उलमाए-औलाद-ए-ज़हरा सलामुल्लाह अलैहा की किबला जो किसी तारफ के मोहताज नहीं, मेरी मुराद मौलाना सैयद इबरार नकवी साहब के वो मिंबर अफरोज़ हूँ और अपना नजराना ये अकीदत पेश करें। बुलंदतर सलाम
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व आले मुहम्मद। औज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम। बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन। अस्सलातु वस्सलामु अला सय्यदिल अशरफिल अंबिया वल मुरसलीन। तबीब क़ुलूबिना व तबीब नफूसना अबिल क़ासिम मुहम्मद। वस्सलातु वस्सलामु अला अहले तय्यबीन ताहिरीन अल मासूमीन अल मुंतजबीन व लानतुल्लाहि अला अअदाइहिम अजमईन। क़ाल रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि व आलिहि वसल्लम हुसैन मिन्नी व अना मिनल हुसैन। Loud salawat on Muhammad and Ali Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
As you all know that the month of Muharram has begun, and it is the year 1442 that all over the world, when the moon of Muharram is seen, every single person who has a love for Muhammad and Ali Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam, he leaves behind all his happiness. He leaves everything behind, and for the next 10 days he spends in remembrance of Ali Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam. We see in different cultures throughout the world that when someone says that it is the new year of a specific religion or culture or society, every single person associates the new year with the happiness, with celebrations. But we, the believers of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam, when the month of Muharram begins, when our Islamic New Year begins, we begin our new year with the remembrance of Hussein ibn Ali alayhi salatu wassalam. Why is it that every single person in the world, when they celebrate their new year, they celebrate with happiness, and we, the believers of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam, we begin our new year with sadness? Many of the youngsters listening today, a lot of youngsters have this question, that why is it that the followers of Ali Muhammad, we begin our new year with sadness? We begin our new year by wearing black clothes. We begin our new year by crying. The reason is that Allah Azza wa Jal says in the Quran that when someone does ihsan upon you, when someone gives you something, you need to return that favor by
MashaAllah.
remembering that person, by
MashaAllah.
remembering him who does ihsan upon you. What big ihsan has Hussein ibn Ali done upon the believers of Muhammad, that after the passing of Rasulullah, this religion of Islam as we see it today was on the verge of ending. This religion of Islam was being changed by Yazid ibn Muawiyah. He was changing the laws of Allah Azza wa Jal. He was changing the face of Islam. It was only Hussein ibn Ali. It was only Hussein, the son of Fatima Zahra, that after Rasulullah, Hussein ibn Ali came out and said, I am that person who is the son of Muhammad Mustafa. I am Hussein ibn Ali. I am Hussein, the son of Fatima Zahra. Whilst I, Hussein, I am alive. Who has given you the authority to change Islam?
MashaAllah, MashaAllah, Qibla Sahib, Jio.
Who has given you the authority to change Islam? Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam left Medina. He left Makkah. He came to Karbala. He sacrificed everything that he had to save the religion of his grandfather, Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. And we see that many people, even in today's day and age, when everything is available online, every single hadith, every single ayat of the Quran is accessible online. But we still see that many people still have questions about who is Hussein ibn Ali. As I have said, if someone asks our youth, our children, why is it that you remember Hussein? Why is it that in this month of Muharram you are wearing black clothes? The answer is simple. That the reason why we are remembering Hussein, because if today we are reciting La ilaha illallah, if today we are reciting Muhammadur Rasulullah, if today we are reciting Aliyun Waliullah, it is all due to the sacrifice of Hussein ibn Ali.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah, Qibla Sahib, Jio, Jio.
Because Yazid said, may Allah's la'nat and curse be upon him. He said that there is no prophet, there is no Muhammad, and they have all done this to gain authority. We need to educate our youth. Alhamdulillah, Anjuman Ghulaman-e-Aulad-e-Zahra, Salamullah alayha, has organized for the first time this Ashra of Muharram. Because the Intizamiya, those people who are backstage, who are running this Anjuman, they have decided that in today's day and age, it is necessary that we educate our youth, both in English and Urdu. Inshallah, afterwards you will hear Hujjat al-Islam al-Muslimin, Allama Abbas Ali Qummi Sahib, who will also recite Fazail of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad and Masaib. Why? What is the reason? We want to educate our youth. We want to teach our youth that if you want success in this dunya, if you want happiness in this dunya, then stick with the zikr of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Allahumma
We can only gain
MashaAllah,
Strength,
Qibla
we
Sahib,
can
Dio,
only
Dio.
gain happiness by doing the zikr of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad. Even though you might all see this is the first majlis today on this platform of Anjuman Ghulaman-e-Aulad-e-Zahra Salamullah Alayha, to every single person throughout the world, this year the month of Muharram is different. Like the month of Ramadan was different this year. But I personally have felt that even with this lockdown, people are sitting at home, people have come closer, more to the zikr of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. And this credit goes to the Intizamiya of Anjuman Ghulaman-e-Aulad-e-Zahra Salamullah Alayha, especially the president of this Anjuman, Saeed Raza Shah Sahab, and Sayyid Manzar Bukhari, Sayyid Ibrar Naqvi, Sayyid Ishfaq Hussain Shah Sahab, Dr. Sayyid Murtaza Naqvi, Sayyid Abbas Kazmi, and Chaudhry Fiyaz Hussain, and all those people of Wakefield who together on one platform have gathered together to promote the teachings of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad. Because when it comes to the Tawheed of Allah, when it comes to the Risalat of Rasulullah, when it comes to the Vilayat of Ali ibn Abi Talib, no matter which background we belong to, when it comes to the Azadari and Vilayat of Ali ibn Abi Talib, we are all together under the platform of love, harmony and peace, inshallah.
Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Jazakallah.
Because as a big family, we are all Husseini in this month of Muharram. Karbala, you will hear the Masaib of Imam Hussein for the next 9 days. I would like to say to all those English speakers that are listening today, all those English listeners, and I always say this in every single majlis, that whenever you attend the zikr of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad, always do the intention that you will learn something from the teachings of Muhammad and Ali. Like they say, Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib al-Islam says that when the month of Ramadan comes, and a believer of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad does not take the advantage of the month of Ramadan, then he has lost dearly from the ni'mat of Allah Azza wa Jal. Same is this month of Muharram. Why is it that Allah has said that Ramadan is my month and Muharram is the month of Hussein ibn Ali? Because it is the month of Muharram in which, if we truly believe in the teachings of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad, we can change our lives. We see that in Karbala, there were 3 types of people in Karbala. There were those people that called Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam, that constantly sent letters to Imam Hussein, inviting Imam Hussein to Kufa. And we find that when Imam Hussein accepted their invitation, these were those people that turned their backs upon Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam. So the first type of people that we see in Karbala are those that invited Imam Hussein, and later, due to fear, they turned their backs away from Hussein ibn Ali. And then we see there were those people that openly were against Imam Hussein. And there were those people that supported Yazid ibn Muawiyah. And there were those people that had the belief that Hussein is the one that is taking people away from Allah Azza wa Jal. And then we find the third type of people. And we need to choose which types of people we belong to. The third type of people we see in Karbala are those that openly accepted the call of Hussein ibn Ali. There were those people that even though they had several thousand enemies surrounding them, they still said labbaik to Hussein ibn Ali. So the first type of people we see in Karbala are those that invited Hussein ibn Ali, but later due to fear they turned their backs on Hussein ibn Ali. The second type of people we see in Karbala are those that openly opposed Hussein ibn Ali, and they were the supporters of Yazid ibn Muawiyah. And then the third type of people were those that said labbaik to the call of Hussein ibn Ali. We need to decide that in this month of Muharram, to which people we belong to. As I always say, that this Majlis of Imam Hussein ﷺ, it is the first class for us in which we can understand, get the ma'rifat and understanding of the religion of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad.
MashaAllah,
We need
MashaAllah,
to
Qibla
decide which people we belong to. Are we those that have turned their backs upon to Hussein ibn Ali? How is it that today we turn our backs to Hussein ibn Ali? If Imam Hussein ﷺ has ordered his believers to follow the teachings of Muhammad, if Imam Hussein was a namazi, if Imam Hussein prayed, if Imam Hussein recites Quran, if Imam Hussein follows the commands of Allah, and we who call ourselves Hussainis, if today we say that we follow Hussein ibn Ali and we do not recite namaz, we do not recite the Quran, we do not follow the commands of Allah, then we belong to those people that called Imam Hussein ibn Ali but then later turned their backs to Hussein ibn Ali.
Wah wah, Jio Qibla Sahab.
Subhanallah, Qibla.
Second type of people are those that openly oppose Imam Hussein. And the third type are those that accepted Hussein, that said labbaik to Hussein. Even when on the eve of 10th of Muharram, when Imam Hussein said, "Oh my companions, if you want to leave, you can leave. I, Hussein, promises you that I will give you paradise." But they still did not leave the side of Hussein ibn Ali. Imam turned off the lights, but still these people said, "We have said labbaik to you from our hearts, and we will stay with you until the last breath in our lungs." We need to decide. Today is the 1st of Muharram. We need to make the intention to which types of people we belong to. Are we Husseini? Are we those Hussainis that truly follow Hussein ibn Ali? Someone asked me a question last night, that is it permissible to play games, to watch TV, to play with friends, to have parties? Simple answer, especially I am speaking to the youth. Tell me,
MashaAllah,
if
MashaAllah, Qibla Sahib.
your mother or father dies a normal death, will you spend the next 10 days watching TV? Will you spend the next 10 days having fun with your friends? No, you would not. If your parents die from a normal death, you would spend the next year remembering your parents. Who is Hussein ibn Ali? I am going back to the hadith which I started in the beginning of this lecture. The Holy Prophet of Islam says, Husainu minni wa ana min al-Husayn. Hussein is from me and I am from Hussein. Why is it that the Prophet said this? The Prophet brought Islam. Hussein is the protector of Islam. The Prophet gave us the teachings of Islam. Hussein is the protector of the teachings of Islam. The Prophet gave us namaz. Hussein is the protector of namaz. The Prophet gave us the Quran. Hussein is the protector of the Quran. And as people see the moon of Muharram, the people of Medina would say that when the moon of Muharram was seen, we would not look for the moon. But the people of Medina say that when the moon of Muharram was seen, we would hear loud crying from the house of Imam Jafar Sadiq. And when we would hear them crying, the people of Medina would know that the moon of Muharram has been seen. O Azadar of Mazloom Karbala, O believers of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad, today is the 1st of Muharram. You have all started wearing black clothes. You have started putting black flags outside your houses. You are all crying for Hussein ibn Ali. But before we remember Hussein ibn Ali, we need to remember Sayyida Fatimatu-Zahra, Azadaro o Mu'mineen. Before the event of Karbala took place, Karbala, the planning of Karbala started in Saqif. These so-called Muslims who said that they were believers of the Prophet of Islam, but we find that after the passing of Rasulullah, these people came to the house of Fatimatu-Zahra. Which house did they come to? That house, whenever the Prophet of Islam would come to the door of Fatimatu-Zahra, the Prophet of Islam would recite Ayat-e-Tatheer, and the Prophet of Islam would wait until Fatimatu-Zahra would open the door. Oh Azadar, this is that door that when the passing of the Prophet of Islam was near, the angel of death came 3 times and he waited for Fatimatu-Zahra to give permission to the angel of death. Oh Azadaro, when the 3rd time the angel of death came, what were the words of the angel of death? He says, O Prophet of Islam, once say to your daughter Fatimatu-Zahra that I am that angel, that till this day I have never waited for anyone, but Allah has taught us, this is the azmat of the daughter of Fatimatu-Zahra, that even I, the angel of death, needs to get permission before I enter the house of Fatimatu-Zahra. Oh Mu'mineen, what happened after the passing of Rasulullah? A few days had passed. These Muslims brought fire to the door of Fatimatu-Zahra, and they said, oh Fatimatu-Zahra, if you do not open the door, we will burn down the door of Rasulullah. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Oh Allah, for the sake of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad. Bless us all and give us the tawfiq to do the proper zikr of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad. Ya Allah, hasten the reappearance of our 12th Imam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.